Hi, everybody. Before I get into the heart of the presentation, allow me to share with you something that I have developed over the last, I would say, 25 years. I don't want you to guess my age, right? No. That I found probably one of the first steps towards collective awareness in order for you to really explore your full potential. It's called gratitude. I believe that gratitude is more just a sign of courtesy or a touch of class, but I think it's a matter of duty. So you're here, you're giving me your time, granted me 1 hour. And I'm going to teach you something about time. Time, like most of us thinks it's written T.M.D.A. No. Time spelled as follow, L-O-V-E. Anybody who gives you his time gives you his love. In fact, we give time to people we love. We wear things that we cherish. We spend countless hours in things we really will enjoy. You watch your favorite series all the time. Wherever you invest your time, that's where your love is. So today, give me your time, and I hope I'm going to live up to your aspiration. Okay, so I'm going to take this moment to thank each one of you here for granting me your time. And I will be sharing some of the things that I have developed over the last, I told you, 25 years, and hoping that may add something to whatever you have in mind to achieve. Okay. Some people come here to succeed, probably to pursue something in higher education, like a master's degree or PhD. Some others, they're doing something in biotechnology. Some, as you know, I teach also medical students how to enter medical school, pharmacist, neuroscientist. It doesn't matter. The process is the same. Where I'm going to share with you a couple of principles, because I have to confess that success has nothing to do with things out there. Okay, it's not something we discover by accident, but something we attract by the person we become. Allow me to explore this. You know, the most intriguing things I have discovered in, for instance, setting goals, it's not in their accomplishment. They're accomplished secondary. You want to be a millionaire, it's not the million itself. But the most important value in reaching a specific goal, like today, specific goal, is to compel you, is transform you, is to mold you in the person you need to become to reach that goal. You know, to become a millionaire, the true value is not to have a million, but to develop the stamina, the strategy, the planning, the skills that get you to make that million. Okay? So it's the inner strength that you develop to find a way to make it wherever you go. In fact, I teach a course based on my book, The Inner Global Village, called A No Matter What Kid. Like, you teach them the skills that no matter what you throw them, they're going to make it. I'll give you an example. It has nothing to do with the glass. For instance, you take two atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. Everybody tells me water. Okay, advanced chemistry will tell me could be also what the French call l'eau lourde, which means heavy water, which is H2O2, which is how to make a bomb. But usually H2O, no matter what. In China, in Japan, in Sweden, you put 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of oxygen, you get water. No matter what you do, it's not by changing places, it's by having the right ingredient. Similarly, when it comes to success, we're going to define success on its own, or you become wealthy, or it has nothing to do with out there. It has to do within you. I was speaking with San and Jackie just a couple of minutes ago before we started the session, I told them, everybody can make it. I said, some people made it, they don't know why. If just some people, they move from China, from another country. I'm the perfect example. I'm from North Africa. No matter what, just the fact that you are able to move from A to B, you already have the ingredient. Now, the problem sometimes, or the mistake we make once we come to a new environment, regardless of that environment, we join a class, we join this university, we try to become the norm. The norm, which means we become to be the copy. 100% are born unique, 99% die as a copy. In fact, if you look, which are the most successful companies today, like in terms of getting popular, is Instagram, Facebook, and so people needs to have likes. Okay, people are seeking attention because they want to be somebody else versus just to be so simple to be themselves. Okay, so here I will be sharing with you that we all are born to make it. Some people, I told you, they're making it, they don't know why. Some others, they tried, not enough, because they forgot that success is follow an exponential curve, not linear. It's not every day you grow. It takes time to take off, like in the airplane. At the beginning, until they reach the real speed, then it takes off. It doesn't go like this right away. So success is something. It takes time. And when the ingredient become in harmony, they work together, then you take off. So some people, they don't have time. They didn't take enough patience to try. And the third group, which is represent maybe 80% of the population, they have not yet discovered how to make it. They don't know the formula. If I don't give you the formula to make water, how do you make it? I'll give you, this is the Mendeleev chart, the things for the atoms, and I do whatever you want. Drink water. Sometimes maybe sodium, sometimes, but unless I give you the right formula, you don't know. I'll be sharing with you today, I'm not a magician, I'll be sharing with you what worked with many people and how did I apply it to not only to others, but to myself, okay? And this is how I design the agenda, okay? So this meeting, I was invited in Qatar by one of the most successful fashion icon to help her to expand. In fact, she expanded a lot a couple of years ago. And as I was speaking with her over dinner, she told me, you're on Snapshot. Honestly, it was the first time I heard the word Snapshot. I said, what, do you need the perfume? I started joking with her. She told me, I want to invite a couple of people. By the time I finished dinner, she said, there's 50 people who wants to come to your seminar. I said, what kind of people? And she told me they're all royalties. Like they are very, I said, what they need from me? She said, they may have a lot going for them, but they're still missing something. What is this thing, She said, whatever you're sharing with me. So I went there and the meeting, that time the seminar was designed for 5 days, and we did an amazing meeting, and it was great. I grew as a result of that. And today, when San and Eddie asked me if I can do something, I said yes. What I did, I handpicked a couple of things for you guys, just a couple of things that I can guarantee you is like a cafeteria. It will feed you, and success breeds success. If you do try one or two, and I will tell you how to try it, we go through the process, you're going to realize great, how you call it, return on your investment, whatever time or quality time you invest in applying and developing those skills. So the first time is how to discover I said self-branding and gratitude. The second, the most important, is the key component. It's I also have selected from YouTube. I attended the seminar myself. Digital transformation. Are you ready for exponential change? It's a 4 minutes or 3 and something, 3:46 seconds, I think. It'll give you an idea what the future is all about. He's a futurist, well known, highly in demand. He is not yet to come to Canada, but he will. Very, very, very sharp. And he will tell you where your edge is going to be, how you're going to position yourself, how you're going to brand yourself, how you define yourself, so that you attract people. As I said, success is not something out there, it's something you attract. If you want to be attractive, what do? You just do some makeup and so forth. If you want to be repulsive, you start swearing, you start cursing people, then people run away from you. You just change the formula of what success is all about, okay? The second, how to adapt the future to ignite your embers of greatness. How we're going to do that. The second and most important, when I discovered this, quantum leap thinking, I realized that I do understand why people don't succeed. I don't say fail. I don't want the word fail, because failing is trying to succeed. So why people don't try enough to succeed? Okay, I told you it's exponential. The second is the T.M.D.A. effect. Once you understand the T.M.D.A. effect, you're going to start controlling even the people who start talking to you. You're going to select. You're going to be very selective of what kind of speech, what kind of movie you look, what kind of news you'll be looking for to be in line with what you want to become. Success is not something you gather. It's an inside transformation. Like I said here, digital transformation. What is beyond that? Okay. Then how, once you master the TMD effect, the law of expectation, very simple and yet so powerful. When I have discovered the law of expectation, it changed my bank account. Now, some of you may look something else. It changed everything about me. Even my son today is a surgeon. He's doing his fellowship, postdoctorate in Cleveland Clinic. You know, I struggled with him until I told him, change your expectation. When he did that, the sky's not the limit. Of course, you know, he said, why didn't you tell me that? I said, all my life I told you that. But anyway, today it's thanks to God, you know, he's flying. And here, focus on momentum, not on result. And last but not the least, I put here the principle of auto CTC. Now, I didn't put here project management because I will send it through Sun and I will give you something, you work on it. I want you to work on it, and it's a tool, you work on it for anything you want, you have in mind to achieve. It's personal to everybody. You work on it and you go step by step. If you don't understand, you have my email, you have a link, but it's step by step. I use it for every single project I do. Okay? So the first one, your dream are calling. What I'm going to do here, we're going to watch this one here, this video for 3 minutes, and then we start the process.
In a world where everything is connected, where everything is equally excellent, where performance is reaching perfection, there's only one space left to innovate in: you. Right now, you are a central point in the raging tornado of change fueled by digitization, mobilization, augmentation, disintermediation, automation. Well, the list goes on. Science fiction is becoming science fact. Think about self-driving cars or computers that can learn and think. The way we work will never be the same. The skills we need will be dramatically different. Winning or losing are now happening faster than ever before. So what's your response? How will you discover new opportunities in one of the most transformational times in human history? Are you driving change, or are you being driven by it? Disruption has become the new normal. With change, it's always gradually, then suddenly, well, things really have stopped happening gradually. This change is exponential. Everything that used to be dumb and disconnected is now wired and intelligent. Cars, cities, ports, farms, even our bodies will be wired with sensors and will talk to each other. These game changers are also combinatorial. They amplify each other, creating a perfect storm of change. Quantum computing fuels big data. The Internet of Things fuels artificial intelligence and deep learning, which fuels robotics. However, anything that cannot be digitized or automated will become extremely valuable. Human-only traits such as creativity, imagination, intuition, emotion, and ethics will be even more important in the future, because machines are very good at simulating, but not at being. Yes, robots and software will do some of our work, but this will allow us to focus on things that cannot be automated. To imagine change squared, you've got to start engaging more with what might be, not just with what is. Immerse yourself in the immediate future, 5 to 7 years out from today. We need to go beyond technology and data to reach human insights and wisdom. Technology represents the how of change, but humans represent the why. The future is about holistic business model. The opportunity is to be liquid, to learn just in time, not just in case, not single improvements, but complete transformations, not individual systems, but new ecosystems. Humanity is where true and lasting value is created. We will engage, relate, and buy things because of the experiences they provide, because of their transformative power. The future doesn't just happen. The future gets happened. The new way to work is to embrace technology, but not to become it. The future is in technology, yet the bigger future lies in transcending it. Let's live and lead from here.
Okay, so as you can see, you're going to be challenged not just by disruption, by changes all the time. It's not about changing iPhone every year or every 2 years. The difference is going to rely on you. Okay, so the key is not to be the average. It's not to be like anybody. Okay, whether you choose a career, whether a great purpose, regardless of what you do, is to differentiate from the average, the medium, the ordinary. If you are not the best, so the key when it's come to branding, which is differentiating for yourself, is finding something unique. If I have to ask you the following question, what makes you different, and what will be so attractive in the service you offer to others? If you have to ask question all the time, am I better than last year? Did I read more books? Did I learn new skills? Have I attended many other presentations? Did I perform a specific expertise in different way? If the answer is no, then you're still the average. If you stand here is yes, then keep doing it. Because what was okay today is no longer, the past is no longer, the future is no longer an extension of the past. Many times, people just repeat. Yes, today is not an extension of yesterday. Okay? And tomorrow would not be an extension. And that's how you carry yourself, how you brand yourself slowly. But we'll go deeper later on. Okay? Somebody asked me a question here. Come on. Okay. You can send this link to all participants. Yes, please. Yes. Okay. So I conduct a seminar on a regular basis to medical students. Last year, 5,700 people applied to UFT. Only 203 have been accepted. University of Queens, they 4,000 people applied. They took only 100. And all this is not based on their curriculum, it's not based on their resume, it's not or GPA, whatever. It's all about how they differentiate themselves from the rest. What makes them unique? And this is all what he said, you know, machines are good at simulating, but not good at being. You have to be. You have to become. Okay? So this is how the world looks like. Okay? This is how the world looks like. Wherever you go, what is your competitive edge when you see this? I got a call today from an employee. He said, I might be laid off. He is part of this group, by the way. And I told him, you shouldn't be worried, you should be happy. Yesterday, 11,000 people, I think you read it, from Facebook has been laid off, has been terminated. Some maybe will panic, but some will be skeptical, and others will find opportunity, maybe create their own company and so forth. But if they're able to find their inner wealth, we're working on it today, they can bounce back like crazy. Everybody has something to offer. When I told you about gratitude, wherever you give, the process of getting started the process of giving. If you want to have a flower in your garden, what do you do first? You don't go garden, give me the flowers. You start planting seed. You start watering. And over time, you're still having flowers. Okay, in physics, the third law of Newton, for every single reaction, there is an equal amount opposite reaction. And the reason why people are waiting to get versus eager to give, that's the reason why most of us are still average people when it's come to wealth or whatever. Imagine just you start giving every morning, giving a skill, giving counseling, giving your service, giving of yourself. But giving of yourself, what you mean? Giving an average guy or giving the best of you? You want to have a smile? Just start smiling. You want to have love? Give love. Okay? So what is your competitive edge in a people? Look, when you know that the single largest cost in most business people, that's why he fired people. That's why Zuckerberg yesterday from Facebook fired people. Same thing with Elon Musk. He fired most of the executives from Twitter. Okay, because I think it's a cost. What is the most valuable asset in any company has is people. Why Apple didn't fire people? Now you start thinking, then the same. Why Google didn't fire people that much? 11 years. Because people are carried or fail to be carried by people. Be that person that people will call on you because you're their most valuable asset. Are you that asset? How we become that asset? Very simple. There is some key principle, the one I discovered already, it's called the SIT principle. 5 principles. Quantum leap thinking. Sorry, guys. The T.M.D.A. effect, the love expectation, the value theory, and the income principle. Okay. Starting with the first one, it's called the SIT principle. Before we get into the quantum leap thinking, I told you, in every seed, there is the promise of 1,000 gardens. Just plant the seed, and over time, you will have a garden. The process of getting is ignited by the process of giving. Once you understand, I just apply it. Just look at your partner, give him a smile, you give him a smile back. Physics, same thing. I'm going to say something is going to blow your mind away. You go to a flower, you give her dirt. That's part of the fertilizer. Fertilizer is dirt, sorry. What gives you in return? You have a perfume, you have an aroma. Even nature reacts that. Of course, you don't give with the extent to get, but with the noble intent of purpose. You have to, once the intention are more important, this is when you understand self-fulfilling prophecy. You do that, you understand the intention, control everything. Okay, starting with the quantum leap thinking. What is quantum leap? What is the quantum leap? Jackie, what is a quantum leap?
I'm not really sure.
Okay, so I thought I'd give you the definition. Okay, quantum leap is any sudden change or advance in program policy. Any sudden change is like a jump. Theory of quantum theory, it's jump. Okay, what they did, the chemicists, they took red phosphorus and chloride potassium. They're stable chemical. However, when they mix them, they're usually very, very stable chemical when they are in isolation. However, when you mix them and you shake them, there is an explosion, and there is an undeniable energy, and transformation takes place. Okay, so the neuroscientists start studying. He said, what if the same things could apply to human being? How? He said, after all, we are all biochemical reaction here and reaction and so forth. We all, when somebody tells I love you, you feel good. It's a biochemical reaction happened to you. What can we do to create this explosion? So they come with what they call quantum leap thinking. Okay, quantum leap thinking is a collection of ideas, concept, skills. So they decide to bring what are all those things. We teach people ideas, let's say, all the principle I teach, for instance, to create, what they create, okay? Like active chemical, they explode their own way inside you. Suddenly, there is, this is not real, but this explosion comes to a higher level, increase energy, excitement, and option. Suddenly, when you start learning things, as I'm speaking, said, oh, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. It creates that hype. It creates a certain energy, and suddenly feel excited and said, yeah, it's possible. I can make it. And suddenly you start seeing option. Suddenly become very creative. Okay? So now it is understood that quantum reality cannot be explained typically linear, like typical linear fashion, because the concept, like group of chemical mixing and dying together, they form together strategy for personal and professional success. Okay, once you start applying those skills, those principles, those ideas, suddenly you start experiencing a very unique, but it's not explosion, it's strategy for personal and professional success. So it's quantum leap thinking is more about quality of life, because the strategy, if you apply it daily and with commitment, you experience a personal creative explosion. This is when you suddenly make the quantum leap. This is when I've changed. There is things you cannot be how you call it, very ambitious and lazy at the same time. They don't work together. You can't just have thousands of ideas and you don't support it by an action. You cannot wants to be in the service industry or to sell your services, whatever, and don't like people. They don't go together. A lot of it is, I'm very, very positive, but he's always defeated. He's always think in negative. Oh, I don't think it's going to work. But I'm positive. I don't think it's going to work. They don't try. They don't understand that success, it's something you try over and over and over and over. And every time you experience a small failure, it's not a failure, it's an attempt to succeed. And every time you experience that failure, you bounce back, you become a better person. When I started my business, I didn't speak English. And I tell people, like, if you have people who are like me, I said, I'm going to help you, because I was brilliant. I had a PhD and all this. And many people, many true Canadians, they told me, but you don't speak English. You know, my answer was, better well done than well said. The first day when I started my business, I had more than 1,000 brochures. And I go to companies and here's my service, Because, and I met a girl, she said, come on in, talk to me about the service. No, just read it. I couldn't speak. You know, until somebody told me, no, I'm going to listen what you have to say. I said, me, do this. I spoke like, with 5-6 words. Somebody has given me an opportunity because I tried. He said, do it. I'll pay you when you're done. I said, okay. And they all told me you're going to be paid in 90 days. That's his, as soon as I was done with the project, he said, he paid me and he said, I want you to stay. That's give me an opportunity. So, but it's not something that all those, I know they told me, you got to call as many as people, you're going to have a rejection. I said, it's okay. And they give me ratios. How many times you're going to be rejected? And I keep bouncing back. Oh, I got rejected 5 times. Okay, after 5, I think that I'm going to close. And slowly, I develop my confidence. As I develop my confidence, I added something else and so forth. But nothing's happened overnight. It's something that you apply daily and you practice it with commitment. Okay, this is quantum leap thinking. Okay, now quantum leap thinking is about learning. You have to learn ongoing. What is learning? Learning is very easy. Learning is solving your own problem on reason. People, they go to school, they can't even solve the problem. They study business, they can't go on business. Doesn't make sense. So they're not learning. When you go to school, you don't learn just to have an A or B or C, whatever. You learn to take it to the next place. Suddenly, the way you learn will be totally different because you learn for your own reason. I'm going to study finance because I'm going to have my own company. So suddenly you start listening. I'm going to study finance because I want to listen to how they do taxes and so forth. So you learn for your own reason, not for someone else's reason, not just to have an A. Learning is knowing more than just prescribed answer. You don't just repeat it. It's developing curiosity. Why does this happen that way? Why that guy makes it? What makes him successful? You start thinking. Now, you are not just wasting time, you're investing your time. And every time you invest, you expect a return on investment. Learning is more than stuff being trained. Learning is what? A way of thinking. That's the reason we finish both with a bachelor's degree in any field. One succeed, one failed. It has nothing to do with the curriculum. It has nothing to do with the university. It has to do with you, where you're thinking, how when you use that thinking to apply those skills you did. Okay? Learning is a starting point and does not have an end point. Many of us, as soon as they finish university, they stop learning. I always have books with me, all the time, non-stop. And the book you don't read won't help. Always invest new knowledge. What did they say? The future not just keep happening. Every day is a new day. The people unfortunately at Facebook yesterday, they didn't see it coming. They saw the things coming, but they were there. They stopped learning. They were just going day by day. We're working for Facebook. Wow, we have a good stock. Wow. But the stock goes down. And so do whatever they have invested. Learning is ongoing, habit or process. Now I'm going to ask you a question. You don't need to answer me. It's you. You have to answer yourself. How many of you are learning on an ongoing basis? When I say learning, not just looking Facebook and Instagram, it's really investing quality time to invest, to learn a book, to read, specific process, develop a new habit. It's blocking here. Quantum leap thinking is about continuous learning. There is a very famous doctor in statistics. His name is Dr. Deming, and he's the one who was behind the success of Japan. I don't know if you heard about him. He's the one who introduced even the concept of quality. He has, I think, 14 points. In any company he goes, he's the one who turned Honda, become successful, Toyota, and so forth. And he introduced the concept of continuous learning, parallel to continuous improvement. You cannot improve if you are not continuously learning. Okay, they go hand on hand. Okay, see what I said about quantum leap thinking? Quantum leap thinking is a collection of ideas, skills, concepts, and so forth. When they are put together, they act like chemicals. Together they work in harmony. So you cannot seek continuous improvement. Once you got to this in a process in yourself, are you a better person than yesterday if you are not continuously learning? That's your answer is there. You cannot achieve more than you've got to offer. With hydrogen and oxygen, you can only offer water, nothing else. You want to offer sodium, then you add, or chloride sodium and NaCl or Na. So, but most of us want to do more with the same. It's insane. In fact, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That's the first things, quantum leap learning. Okay? And there is Charles Handy. Before I get into it, he said Charles Handy is a very famous professor at the London School of Business, one of the best in the world. He said, those who are continuously learning are those who are able to ride the wings of change and see the future as full opportunities rather than full of danger. Okay, there's a come here. Okay. We're running out of time here. The second principle that I would like to is the T.M.D.A. effect. It's when I discovered this one, I told you, it did change my income, everything. Okay, very little is needed to make a happy life. It's all within yourself. So don't look somewhere else success. Sometimes it's not somewhere. Some people, they go into pyramid, they sleep there all night. No, it's within you. It's in the way you think. Okay, this concept, all the result we achieve in life are a 4-step process. Okay, by studying how this process works, we can really, if you understand it, we can change orders in our life. But the best way to start this is to start with the end in mind, with the result. I have difficulty to move my okay. Start with the result. Okay. What comes before the result? What triggers the result is our action. What control our action? What makes us take certain course of action? Our personal decision. What control our decision? Our motives. If I want to hug you, if I love you, okay, I will hug you. If I don't love you, I will curse you. But it's all about motive. But what control our motives? Let's go now deeper, okay? Whether right things done in the right manner will give good results. Wrong thing, right things done in the wrong manner, poor result. Wrong things done in the wrong manner, poor result, okay? Wrong things done in the right manner, same thing, poor result. Whether the right thing or the wrong things is all the conclusion of our own personal decision, okay? Our action, sorry. Okay, and how we do it. During the day, we take dozens of decisions. Sometimes we take decision without thinking. We just react to our own personal inclination. And this habit, if it was a result of repeatedly making the same choice of decision, that's why sometimes we end up with poor result despite our best effort. What happened? We just keep following our inclination. It becomes a habit. And suddenly, we don't know to think about doing something else. If we're driving, we don't say, I'm going to turn left. We just turn left. If we're going somewhere, or turn right. We just do it without even thinking. Okay, maybe there's a better route, maybe, and so on. So, in fact, sometimes you put the GPS and you still follow your own habits. I don't know, it's not like this way. And yet, he'll give you usually the shortest way to go there. So, left unchecked, there is some habit that left unchecked, you know, a lifetime of unproductive habits and inclination will cause us to keep choosing to do the wrong things or to keep choosing to do the things in the wrong way. Because we have collected so many bad habits that we don't know, they're left unchecked. We just keep doing the same thing. And that's why we end up with poor result, despite our efforts. I'm trying, but it's still the same thing. Yes. So what control our decision? Our motives. You know, if I'm motivated to do good, every single action, every single decision is to do a positive action. If I'm motivated to do bad things, you know, so if our motive control our action, our decision, sorry, and our decision control our action, and our action create the result, what control our motives? Our thought. And here I'm going to explain to you what happened. If you don't control, if you are not able to control your thought, you cannot control ever your result. Our mind functions like a mental factory. Okay? Through the day, we always, we always process the raw material of observation, experience, whatever we see, information, and we use all this raw material to produce faulty conclusion, thoughts, or expectation. Whatever you experience, whatever you read, whatever you got informed, whatever you hear, you form thoughts, expectation, attitude, and conclusion of life work. Sometimes through no fault on our own, and this happens often, we receive a large shipment of defective raw material. And we use this raw material to produce faulty motives, which cause us to make faulty decision, which help us take the wrong action, and the wrong action are automatic. Any day you choose with better thinking habits, you can change the result. With the right thinking habits, you can change your motives. With the right motives, you have the right decision, with the right decision, you have the right action. With the right action, you have the right result. Any day. That's why it's very important when you look at the TV, when you read the books, when somebody tells you something, make sure the information is well established to give you the right motives to do whatever you want. If you want to really succeed in specific endeavor, you don't have with somebody who had failure after failure, maybe for a couple of minutes when you allocate time. But you go with somebody who tells you, hey, listen, we can make it. It's easy to make it. And he will give you that energy to think more. It tells you how you do that. I've read this book. I consulted with this person. I did this. Have you read that? Like I did. I choose this link for you to share with you. I've attended this seminar, you know what? In 2016, 2017. And today I wasn't surprised when I was told that people from Facebook has been telling me 11,000. And I told my wife, remember what I told you? One day a wave is going to surprise those people. And this is what happened. So the key, we are in charge of you are the only brand. It's not just about product. It's about your relationship and about your inner worth. That's what makes you different. What have you unique to offer to stand among millions of people all over the world? Okay? See, your mind has, okay? Thought, attitude, and expectation. You control the raw material, you control your thought, your attitude, expectation. Poor thought, poor motives, poor decision, poor action, poor result. Okay? Because I'm going out of time, I'm going to, okay. Now, the law of expectation. What we get out of life is not what we need, but what we deserve. According to the law of expectation, you know, it's whatever we forecast in our mind. Remember how they're interrelated? I told you those concepts work in harmony together. Quantum leap thinking, they're all concepts. So T.M.D.A. work with the law of expectation. They're together. You have a good thought, you have a good expectation. How this law of expectation works? Very simple. There is 4 sets of expectation. One is the one that you have of others. If they expect the good of you, in fact, if you work for people who think highly of you, they have high expectation of you, and you have tendency to perform, try to please. When we have a math teacher or a friend teacher, when they believe in you, you want to do more for that teacher. This is one of the expectations. You have also the expectation you have about others. If you feel great, comfortable, and you expect the best, like your mother, your father, or your best friend, you have tendency to think that you expect the best of them, and you always see good in them. Okay? And you can inspire them because you want to please them. That's how we do our parents. We don't want to let them down because we think the best of them. We love them. Okay? You have the expectation also that you have from your employer, same thing. But the most important things is the expectation you have about yourself. That is the reason I said, if you invest on yourself, you expect better outcome. If you change, you infuse yourself with the best knowledge, you keep learning, you keep growing, you expect the best out of you. Okay? So how does life make sense? And this is very important. Whether you go to an interview, I don't know if I have a student among the people who are in the with us today. Unfortunately, if you was in class, I will have more interaction with you, and I hope I will someday. If you go to an interview, you can even control the interviewer. And I teach this in medical school, okay? And here's how it works. Okay, success is not a set of expectation. Here's this one. Okay. Follow me here. Our experience, whatever experience, if you live a good experience also could be whatever information, whatever you have lived or heard, that's going to be your experience. It's going to shape your expectation. So your expectation will determine. Let's say you're meeting an interview and you come to me and said, you know, you have everything. You're going to make it. You're going to cream it and so forth. And those people you're going to meet, they're so nice and they're looking for the best. And what is a better person than you? This is when somebody you respect tells you this. So you go to an interview which determine your behavior. Said, oh, you know what? I'm going to meet great people. They're going to love me. By going, just by saying that, you start smiling. Your motives, remember TMD, your motives are going to be really, I can't wait to see them, which influence others. You start having an impact on others, which determine their behavior. They start becoming nice to you because you're going smiling, you're prepared, you're smiling. In fact, just the fact that you expect the best, you're going to prepare, you invest a lot of time for that interview. Then, since you affect their behavior, which confirm your expectation. And it's continue like this. Okay? So, by changing your expectation, how we change our expectation? By controlling our thought. Remember I said at the beginning, what goes inside your mental factory? Whatever they tell you, you tell them that's your if it's especially negative, you can't make it, it's difficult, in Canada it's difficult and so forth. No, okay, that's your opinion, not my reality. You seek people, you understand how many people made it, you did the statistics, you did the research, you realize that many people makes it, and so do I. I deserve that. So the expectation will control, So the TMD, the quantum leap thinking, the TMD, the law of expectation are so important if you want to make it. You cannot succeed if your expectations are negative or low. You cannot go with the, in fact, in quantum physics, I don't know anybody who studied the quantum physics, said you create your own reality. That's what's all about. Mathematics, there is a guy by the name, I'm going to tell you his name, I forget his name. So it's you create your own reality. That is the reason it's very important wherever you listen on TV, wherever you listen on wherever, you make your own judgment. You have to control the flow. If you want to fly, if they tell you there's so much you're gonna crash, you will never try to fly. But changing direction, that's all. But you can still fly. Instead of going north, you go south. And then later on, you change. That's how you do. You change course of action all the time. The airplane don't just go one direction. They keep scanning, okay, and avoiding all the turbulence, but they keep flying. They won't stop. Okay, so as I said to San, I think Jackie, when COVID came in, people panicked. For me, it was the best year ever in COVID. I said, okay, people are at home, they don't know what to do, I'm going to help them. And I start calling all the people that they're struggling, and I help them. Guess what? Many people seek my name and say, Omar, I want to take this course, I want to do this program on, and it wasn't non-stop, but I did it with any mal-intention, just to help people. Okay, this is the law of expectation. Okay, I'm going to go quickly. Okay, this is the only few will do it, and it's about the value theory. Okay, I said true wealth is not something we pursue, it's something we attract by the person we become. The more skills, the more technique you learn, the more concept you study, the more books you read, the more valuable you are into the marketplace. Okay, so people, they don't pay you minimum wage. People pay you for the value you bring. If you have somebody make $1 million, you're not fair to ask him, give me 100,000 salary. If you have somebody to make $1 billion, they don't mind asking him to give you $1 million. So it's all about the value you bring to others. Okay, your true value is determined by how much you give the value than in the payment. Always give more than you get. Okay, I told you about the value. And the value has two parts, two things. The product or service we bring, if you have a service, you offer it, or you as a person, just to see you there, okay? Just to see you there makes a big difference. The value we become. You are your own value, ongoing basis. If you are on the stock exchange, I ask sometimes some president, if you are on the stock exchange, like you are as a value, would you buy your stock? You as a stock. If your stock has increased, you'll buy it, which is in value. If are you a more valuable person than last year, we buy you. If your stock is the same, maybe we can exchange it. But if your value is going down, then you have to get rid of you. That's why I told you, don't expect people, when you go to work, go with pride. Go always, but because you know that your true value, how much value you give, more than you get paid for. That's what happened to those people, unfortunately, at Facebook. They didn't give more than they get paid for. He would never afford to lose that. He's a businessman, especially him. Okay, this is how you brand yourself. I can move it. Okay. And what you become is much more valuable than the value you bring. What you become, whatever you need, Jackie, I will give it to you after. Whatever, if you need note, whatever, I give it to you. Okay. What you become, as I told you, I want to give you something I do in 5 days, I give it to you in 1 hour. So what you become is much more valuable than the value you bring. Remember that. Success is a becoming story. Okay? The goal is not to reach to have the million. It's to be the person to be able to get the million. Between having a fish and knowing how to fish, it's better to be a fisherman, right? Because you can fish anytime. Once you develop the skills, when you become that, you develop the skills, who you become, you can go anywhere. You can create your own company because you know your true value. Regardless of the language, regardless, okay? And here is to become the key, the most contribution you can make to your success is to develop grateful behavior of continuous value improvement. Every day said, I'm grateful because I'm becoming better. Every day, when you say thank you, say thank you to yourself first. I become a better person for my wife, for my girlfriend, for my friend, for my boyfriend. It doesn't matter. Today, they told me something very good compliment. He's very, very demanding. He told me, hey, Omar, you're improving all the time. I said, thank you so much. Because this meeting I gave to Qatar before, I changed it. Because there's new knowledge. I have to share it with you. Okay? Always, all the time. And it's like a magnet. The strongest you're a magnet, the more it attracts success. Don't ever, if I have one thing to share with you, don't ever think that success is something out there. It's something within. And the key is to become a personal value in doing something. Somebody asks you something, and I said, with then there's a mistake here. They expect then from you, and then some. Always add something. Always let people that they had the best outcome from you, that they have more than they paid for all the time. Is it enough? Are you sure? Yes. And you take off. They will always call you because you don't just give them for they ask for, you give them more. You give them a free dessert. You go to a restaurant when they give you that extra, how happy you are. If you are with your wife, they, oh, wow, with the couple, St. Valentine. Hey, we offer free flowers here. Here's for you. Because I'm going to come back here. Okay? Okay, by giving more value than you're getting paid for, a change of hamming for a mind of go-getter to a mind of go-giver. And when you're a go-giver, you move from, because you know, if I give it, I know I'm going to receive it. You go from positive thinking to positive knowing. When people, they see you, they greet you. Hey, here's the go-giver. In smile, in happiness, in everything. Okay? as I said, wealth, e-beauty. I said e-beauty is E for digital beauty, but inner beauty, in fact, or internal beauty. It's all about changing paradigm and giving versus receiving, becoming versus going somewhere else, attracting versus running. It's not some animal somewhere you have to find it in the forest. You are attractive. Wherever you are, you're going to be successful. Wherever you are. Okay? I know we're running out of time. I want to thank each one of you here. I'm going to share with you for the project management. I have developed something that I use for companies, for people who wants to become surgeon, for people who wants to become anything. You can work on it, even to develop business. I will send it to Jackie and to San, and they will, because they know your respective email, and they will send it to you. For me, I'm open to any question you have.